On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Ken.
Knowledge, perception, understanding, or range of sight. Verb, to be aware of or know.
Examples:
Within my ken. Ken of the person. He had a good ken of the city and could easily find his way around.
Hail.
In good health and physical condition, strong and robust.
Examples:
Look surprisingly hale. Hale complexion. Even though the hiker was 70 years old, he was hale enough to climb the mountain.
Linguist.
A person who speaks several foreign languages, a person who studies or teaches languages or linguistics.
Examples:
Foreign linguist. Cognitive linguist. Though I love literature, I'm a bad linguist.
Halve.
To divide something into two equal parts, to reduce something by half its original amount or size.
Examples:
Have the price. Have the workload. I need to have the recipe to make just enough for 2 people.
Glean.
To collect information, knowledge, etc., in small amounts and often with difficulty, to gather, as natural products.
Examples:
Glean important information. Glean the fields. He carefully interviewed the victims and tried to glean the details of the culprit.
Nun.
A woman who has taken religious vows and is a member of a monastic community.
Examples:
Nun habit. Meditating nun. The cloistered nun devoted her life to serving the poor and marginalized.
Placard.
A sign or poster, usually large, used to advertise or promote something, to convey information, or to make a public announcement.
Examples:
Placard campaign. Warning placard. The protesters held a placard with their political message.
Monk.
A member of a religious community of men living under vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience.
Examples:
Monk lifestyle. Cloistered monk. The ascetic monk spent his days in prayer and contemplation in the monastery.
Monastery.
A building or complex of buildings in which members of a male religious community, called monks, live and worship.
Examples:
Monastery garden. Leave a monastery. This ancient monastery was founded in the 13th century and had a long history of religious devotion.
Uprising.
A public rebellion, especially against an established government or authority.
Examples:
Stage an uprising. Violent uprising. The anti-government uprising was successful in overthrowing the regime.
Starve.
To suffer or die from lack of food, to cause someone or something to suffer or die from lack of food, to deprive something of necessary nourishment or sustenance.
Examples:
Starve for a victory. Starve to death. If you don't eat soon, you're going to starve.
Tort.
A civil wrong or breach of duty that results in harm or loss to someone, for which legal action can be taken to claim compensation.
Examples:
Intentional tort. Tort of negligence. The lawyer presented a strong case to win the tort lawsuit.
Demeanor.
The way in which a person behaves or conducts themselves, especially in public.
Examples:
An improper demeanor. Affable demeanor. His calm demeanor put everyone at ease during the tense meeting.
Enlightenment.
Education that results in understanding and the spread of knowledge.
Examples:
Spiritual enlightenment. Enlightenment activity. He finally brought his enlightenment to perfection.
Sneak.
To go somewhere, or take someone or something somewhere secretly or stealthily. To steal or do something secretly or stealthily.
Examples:
Sneak a cigarette. Sneak out of danger. The children tried to sneak out and eat the candy.
Tang.
A strong, sharp taste or smell, a perceptible or distinctive flavor or aftertaste, a metallic ringing or sound.
Examples:
Metallic tang. The tang of a lemon. The tang of the ocean breeze was refreshing on a hot summer day.
Plateau.
An elevated, relatively level expanse of land, typically vast and extending over a large area, a state or period of little or no change following a period of growth, development, or progress.
Examples:
Plateau region. Plateau in performance. The hikers finally reached the plateau after a long climb up the mountain.
Pasture.
An area of land used for grazing livestock.
Examples:
Pasture for sheep. Permanent pasture. The cows were grazing in the pasture.
Peasant.
A farmer or agricultural worker who owns or rents a small piece of land and grows crops, especially in a traditional or undeveloped society.
Examples:
Peasant class. Exploited peasant. Many people today romanticize the idea of the simple life of a peasant, but in reality, it was a difficult and often harsh existence.
Beggar.
A person who asks for money or food from others, particularly as a means of survival, due to poverty or homelessness.
Examples:
Homeless beggar. Give alms to a beggar. The beggar's rags barely covered his body as he shivered in the cold.
Horseback.
The back of a horse, the act of riding on a horse.
Examples:
Horseback trek. Horseback adventure. We went on a scenic trail ride on horseback through the mountains.
Seismology.
The scientific study of earthquakes and the behavior of seismic waves that occur within the Earth's crust, as well as the structure and dynamics of the Earth's interior.
Examples:
Seismology research. Seismology data. The Institute invested in advanced seismology equipment to better monitor underground vibrations.
Spear.
A weapon with a long shaft and a sharp metal point used for battle, hunting, and fishing in the past.
Examples:
Hunting spear. Sharp-pointed spear. Ancient people made spears with wood entirely.
Dart.
A small narrow pointed object, sometimes with feathers to help it fly, that is thrown or shot. Verb, to move along rapidly and lightly.
Examples:
Blow dart. Dart here and there. A poison dart hit him.
Infraction.
A violation of a law or rule, especially a minor one.
Examples:
A doping infraction. Infraction of a rule. The driver was issued a citation for a minor infraction of the traffic laws.
Defoliate.
To remove or shed the leaves from a plant, either intentionally or unintentionally, to cause leaves to fall off, typically with a herbicide or other chemical substance.
Examples:
Defoliate trees. Defoliate the field. The herbicide used to defoliate the plants also killed many of the surrounding flowers and trees.
Brunt.
The force or impact of something, often used to describe the full force of an attack or criticism.
Examples:
Bear the brunt. The brunt of criticism. The brunt of the storm hit the coastal towns the hardest.
Shaman.
A person who is regarded as having access to the spirit world and who typically acts as a healer or intermediary between spirits and humans in certain cultures and traditions.
Examples:
Shaman's wisdom. The tried shaman. The village shaman performed a healing ritual for the ailing elder.
Animism.
The belief that objects, places, and creatures possess a spiritual essence or soul, a belief system that emphasizes the interconnectedness of all living things and the natural world.
Examples:
Traditional animism. Animism practices. The belief that objects have spirits is a central tenet of animism.
Trance.
A state of altered consciousness in which a person may seem to be asleep or unconscious but, in reality, is highly responsive to suggestion. A state of being deeply absorbed in thought or feeling, often characterized by a heightened awareness of one's surroundings and emotions.
Examples:
Trance state, meditative trance. The rhythmic beat of the drums kept the audience in a trance.
Juniper.
A type of evergreen shrub or small tree belonging to the cypress family, typically characterized by needle-like or scale-like leaves and bearing small, berry-like cones.
Examples:
Juniper berries, juniper shrub. The scent of the juniper tree filled the air as we hiked through the forest.
Inhale.
To breathe in air or a different substance, such as smoke.
Examples:
Inhale the smoke. Inhale the aroma. He inhaled deeply, trying to calm down.
Christ.
The man that Christians believe is the prophet and the Son of God, and whose life and sermons form the basis for Christianity.
Examples:
Teaching of Christ. Before Christ. Christmas is the day to celebrate the birth of Christ.
Arctic.
Of or relating to the region around the North Pole or the Arctic Ocean, very cold.
Examples:
Arctic ice. High Arctic. Cold temperatures and long, dark winters characterize the Arctic climate.
Storytelling.
The act or art of narrating or writing stories.
Examples:
Storytelling performance. Courtroom storytelling. She was skilled in storytelling techniques, such as using different voices for other characters.
Photoshop.
To edit or manipulate digital images or photographs using Adobe Photoshop software or similar tools.
Examples:
Photoshop a picture. Photoshop the background of the image. The photographer photoshopped the image to enhance the lighting and contrast.
Motto.
A phrase or slogan that expresses a guiding principle or goal.
Examples:
The motto for safe traffic. Company motto. The company's motto is innovation and service, which is reflected in its products and customer support.
Insular.
Relating to, characteristic of, or situated on an island, especially an isolated one, interested only in your own country, group, ideas, etc., and not in those from outside.
Examples:
An insular country. Insular prejudices. She blamed his insular attitudes toward foreigners.
Industrialize.
To organize the production of something into an industry.
Examples:
Industrialized service. Industrialized textile production. The nations of Southeast Asia will quickly industrialize and catch up with the West.
Landslide.
A large, sudden movement of a mass of rock, earth, or other material down a slope.
Examples:
Landslide victory. Prevent a landslide. The massive landslide buried the small village under a thick layer of rock and dirt.
Stan.
A passionate and obsessive fan of a particular celebrity, musician, or athlete, often to the point of being irrational or extreme.
Examples:
The stan of the artist. Drama stan. I'm a huge Marvel stan, and I've seen every movie in the franchise.
Bury.
To place a dead body in the ground, grave, or tomb.
Examples:
Bury in the earth. Bury emotion. There is plenty of space to bury everyone.
Chant.
A simple melody or tune, typically one that is repeated or sung in a monotonous way. Verb, recite with musical intonation.
Examples:
Chant melodies. Chant in the chapel. The soccer game crowd broke into a chant of "Go, team, go!"